Welcome back, guys and gals. This is Jason the Cartoon Fan, coming at you with part 2 of my two-part video showing off all of the Disney movies I currently own on DVD and Blu-ray. In part 1 of this video, I showed all of you the live-action Disney films and the movies produced by Pixar I currently own on DVD and Blu-ray. So now I'm going to be showing all of you the Disney animated canon films I currently own, as well as the DVDs and the one Blu-ray I have of Disney's classic theatrical shorts. And also another Disney DVD I own that doesn't really fit into any particular category. Let's get this part of the video properly started with my physical media releases of the Disney animated canon, which is the part of the Walt Disney Company's film library whose releases make up the vast majority of my Disney movie collection. Alright, let's start with Peter Pan. I got this particular Blu-ray of the movie at a local convention. It's named Stockton Con, which is not too far away from my hometown of Tracy. It's located in the city of, Stockton, California, of course, to be more specific. And this is part of the Diamond Edition series, featuring the top, I think it was like 14 or 15 highest selling Disney animated canon movies in a prestigious line on Blu-ray. The predecessor was a series of DVDs called the Platinum Editions. I want to get more of the Platinum and Diamond Editions. It's just that they're kind of hard to find nowadays, since they were released as part of the whole Disney Vault gimmick, where the movie would only be out on physical media for like a year or two before getting taken out of circulation. And it was a pretty big problem that Disney had with their movies as a way to make another extra buck, until Disney eventually made all of their animated canon movies, except for Make Mine Music, available to stream on Disney+. So we don't have that Disney Vault issue anymore, but it has caused a lot of these DVDs and Blu-rays of Disney's older films to rank up a lot of money in the secondhand market. So I was happy to get this particular Blu-ray for only $2, believe it or not. Just like with the Toy Story Blu-ray I own, this is a Blu-ray release inside of a DVD case. Front, spine, and the back. And here is the inside. No insert, because this was a used copy. If I purchased it new, it probably would have had a Disney Movie Rewards code. So here is the Blu-ray, which is, of course, a plain blue disc. And here is the DVD, which is, of course, a plain gray disc. Alright, I changed the lighting in my room, so the video quality should be a little bit better now. Alright, next off, The Jungle Book, part of the Platinum Edition series I was telling you about. This DVD of the movie was released in 2007 for the film's 40th anniversary. Jungle Book is one of my all-time favorite Disney films. I would say that would probably be my second favorite film from the Walt era. And yes, I know this movie came out 1 year after Walt passed away, but he saw most of its production, so I still consider it a Walt era film. Behind only Pinocchio. I really need to get around to purchasing that movie on Blu-ray, since it just Like, it got re-released on Blu-ray again a couple of years ago, and I think that Blu-ray is still in print. I'll have to double check. But anyways, this is a very old copy, and it has a really nice shiny slipcover on it. But I purchased this used, so there's quite a bit of scratches and dents on the slipcover. But it's still pretty nice, and I like how this particular copy still has its old sticker on here, saying that it's the first time that it's been released on a 2-disc collector's edition DVD, limited time only. Because, you know, the whole Disney Vault gimmick. Front, left side, right side, and the back of the slipcover. Here is the actual case. The artwork is pretty much the same as on the slipcover and is pretty nice looking, even though it no longer has the shiny effect that the slipcover does. And here's what we got inside. This DVD was released when Disney began using shiny-looking labels on their DVDs. So it has a cool little shiny effect on the full-color artwork. One of the very last Disney DVDs to have full-color artwork, as a matter of fact. So I'm very happy that they decided to put artwork on here. So here is Disc 1, featuring the movie, and Disc 2, featuring the special features. And we have 2 inserts. Actually, I think there's 3. The first one is a little summary of all the special features that are included on here, complete with a navigational overview of how you can access all this stuff, kind of like what was on the Finding Nemo DVD I showed you all. And a little blur back here about the Platinum Edition series. Disney Movie rewards code, which I'm assuming was already redeemed. And finally, some advertisements for stuff that you can purchase. DVD player projector, Adventures by Disney, pasta sauce and spaghetti, salad, some Jungle Book merchandise, Color Me Mine Zoo, My Friends Tigger and Pooh, Cars, Meet the Robinsons, Cinderella 2, one of the crappy direct-to-video Disney sequels. Cinderella 3 was okay, though. And advertisement for the Aristocats' then upcoming DVD release. It was originally supposed to be a 2-disc collector's edition, as you can tell from the advertisement here, but they decided to downgrade it to just a 1-disc release. And then some Pixar stuff, and Snow Buddies. Really happy that this copy, which by the way I purchased used, has all of the old inserts inside. Because sometimes with used copies, that's not the case. Alright, next off, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh 25th Anniversary Edition. I just purchased this DVD like about a week or 2 ago, and I showed it off in one of my previous videos. I really am a big fan of the original incarnations of the Winnie the Pooh franchise, like all the way up until the Tigger movie, so I'm definitely happy to have this movie on DVD. Another cool thing about this DVD is that the movie is in its original 4:3 aspect ratio, rather than cropped to widescreen like the movie is on Disney+. Yeah, there are a few of Disney's theatrical films from the late 60s and early to mid 70s that were produced in 4:3 but were cropped to 16:9 when they were released in theaters. So, some of the older DVD releases of those films have the movies in 4:3, and then there are the more recent home media releases, as well as Disney Plus, that unfortunately crop the films to 16:9 as they were in theaters. Jungle Book's DVD that I own is unfortunately in a cropped widescreen format. But thankfully, this movie isn't cropped to widescreen on its DVD release, so that's good. Front, spine, and the back. And here's what we got inside. Pretty nice looking full color artwork. Bizarre looking disc holder though. My copy doesn't have an insert, but I think this DVD originally had one. Alright, next off, Robin Hood from 1973. This was one of the very first Disney DVDs to ever come out. It was released in 2000 as part of the Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection, the first time that many of Disney's animated movies were released on physical media. This film got a much better Blu-ray release, and I want to get that at some point, but if I do purchase it, I'm still going to hold on to this DVD anyways because the movie is in 4:3 on this DVD, but cropped to widescreen on its Blu-ray release, as well as on Disney Plus. So this is definitely a really cool DVD to have in my collection. It's a one that I've had in my collection for a pretty long time now as well. I've had it since I was in elementary school. I got it in a raffle in 4th grade at my first elementary school that I went to after I moved from, I don't remember, but I do remember, my first school after I came to the Bay Area in California, Palmacia Elementary in Hayward. But after we moved to Tracy, well, I went to a different school, but by that point I've already was finished with elementary school and had just gone into middle school, so yeah. Just some stuff in case you wanted to know a little bit about my childhood. But anyways, I like the shiny label on the Gold Classic Collection part of this front cover. I have the DVD release of a Goofy movie, which was also part of the Gold Classic Collection, and that DVD, the older copies had this shiny looking label, but I have a newer copy, and newer copies don't have the shiny label. But this is an older DVD that went out of print, so my copy of Robin Hood does have the little shiny label. But anyways, front, spine, and the back. And here's what we got inside. Pretty nice looking full color artwork on the disc, back when Disney actually put nice artwork on their DVDs. And we have another chapter selection insert. Well, the front of the insert is a chapter selection. The back side is an advertisement. Well, not an advertisement. I mean, it describes some of the special features. Just some kiddie stuff like trivia games and a digital storybook. Nothing really too special on here. Alright, so now we're getting into the Renaissance era of Disney. I don't have Little Mermaid on Blu-ray yet, but I do want to purchase it eventually. But I do have the other 3 of the 4 movies that defined Disney's Renaissance era of the late 80s and early 90s. But all 3 of these films were released in the 90s because Little Mermaid was the only one that came out in the 80s. So let's start with Beauty and the Beast. This particular Blu-ray is part of the Walt Disney Signature Collection, the most recent series of Blu-rays for the animated canon. I missed the opportunity to purchase this movie on Blu-ray the first time it came out. So I got this newer Blu-ray of it, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection because Beauty and the Beast is definitely in my top 5 favorite Disney animated canon movies. Not my favorite Disney animated canon film of all time, though. We're getting to that one in just a bit. Anyways, we have a really nice shiny looking slipcover with both Belle and Beast, and it looks a little bit more generic looking than the original Blu-ray cover, but it's still nice enough. Front, left side, right side, and the back. And here is the actual Blu-ray case. The artwork is pretty much the same as on the slipcover and is pretty well done. And here's what we got inside. We have the digital copy code, which also doubles as a Disney Movie rewards code. I already redeemed this. Pretty much one of the only digital copy codes I ever redeemed, though, because why would I want to have it on a digital format like iTunes when I can just watch the movie on Disney Plus if I wanted to watch the movie digitally? So here is the Blu-ray, which is a plain blue disc, and here is the DVD, which is a plain white disc. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into my all-time favorite, not just Disney animated canon film, but my favorite Disney movie of all time. It might even be my favorite movie, period. Aladdin. I absolutely love Aladdin nearly to death, and I'm definitely happy to have purchased this Blu-ray while it was still in print. Unfortunately, my copy does not have a slipcover. I know this had a slipcover when it was first released, and it was the very last Blu-ray to come out as part of the Diamond Edition series, which was also the series that the Peter Pan Blu-ray I showed you earlier was part of. So I would say that Aladdin is my favorite Disney animated canon film, and the runner-ups would be The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio, Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio, and Tangled. So I'm definitely happy to have this film on Blu-ray. Front, spine, the camera is taking a little bit longer to focus than it should be. I gotta check that sometime in the future. And the back. And here is the inside. Digital copy code, which I already redeemed. Complete with the advertisement for the Disney Movies Anywhere app. And here are the discs. Here is the Blu-ray, which is a plain blue disc, and the DVD, which is a plain gray disc. Okay. Remember how I said that Lion King was my second favorite Disney animated canon film? Well, that movie's next. Just like with Beauty and the Beast, this particular Blu-ray of the film is part of the Walt Disney Signature Collection because I missed the opportunity to get the Diamond Edition Blu-ray that was put out in 2011. I got this at a grocery store called Fred Meyer. There's a lot of them in my mom's home state of Oregon, which was where I went to the Fred Meyer I purchased this Blu-ray from. but there aren't really that many. I don't think there are any in California. I'll have to double check that. I think there may be 1 or 2 locations, but if there are any locations, not that many. Either way, it's still cool to have this movie on Blu-ray. Front, left side, right side, and the back of the slipcover. Here is the actual Blu-ray case. Once again, pretty much the same artwork as on the slipcover. And here's what we got inside. Another digital copy code I already redeemed. And there's this really cool extra that's a physical extra that is a remake, like a reproduction, of the 3 frames in the animation for The Lion King of Rafiki holding up Simba, the iconic opening scene of the film. It's kind of hard to see under this lighting, but it is there. And here's the back of it. Alright, so DVD, Blu-ray, white and blue labels. Same deal as always. Oh, wait, forgot to show the back of this insert here. Alright, now we're getting into the more recent Disney Renaissance films, like the ones that came out during the later half of the 90s. Alright, here is Hercules on Blu-ray. I wouldn't call the movie underrated because there's a lot of people who like it. More so underrated. I mean, like, underappreciated is what I should say. Because while this movie does have a lot of fans, Disney has not done the best job with giving this movie the credit it deserves, because while there was that Funko Pop series, other than that, the movie was pretty sparse in terms of more recent merchandise. So I'm definitely happy that they gave it a Blu-ray release. But unfortunately, it only has 3 extras, as opposed to the boatload of extras that you would find on most of Disney's Blu-rays. Front, spine, and the back. The reason why there's this sticker here was because I purchased this used at FYE. And here's what we got inside. Blu-ray, and DVD. This particular copy does not have a digital HD insert, simply because it was used. Okay, so now, the last Disney movie that came out in the 90s that I have on Blu-ray, Mulan, in a 2-movie collection where it's paired up with its mediocre direct-to-DVD sequel. Overall, this is a pretty cool little collection to have, but, you know, I would have been perfectly fine if it was just a DVD of the original movie by itself. Front, spine. Let me try readjusting the light here. Alright, I guess doesn't look that bad. and the back. And here is the inside. Here is the DVD for the original Mulan. And here is the DVD for Mulan 2. Both of these are plain gray discs, of course. Alright, Disney Movie Rewards Code insert. And that's pretty much it in terms of inserts that are in here. Okay. Next off, perhaps number 6 in my top 10 favorite Disney movies, The Emperor's New Groove. Definitely happy to own the 2-disc collector's edition of this movie because there was a Blu-ray of the movie that came out more recently, but for some odd reason, that movie, the Blu-ray of the movie is bare bones. Yep, it does not have any of the special features that are on this really cool collector's edition DVD release of the movie. So that's unfortunate. But then again, I can just watch the movie in HD on Disney Plus, and I got this primarily for the special features, since I love this movie quite a lot, so I'm definitely happy to have it in my collection. Front, spine, and the back. And here's what we got inside. Pretty bizarrely designed case. Here is disc 1, which features the movie, and disc 2, which has some of the special features. And I say some because there's actually quite a few of the special features on disc 1, because this collector's edition DVD of the movie was one of Disney's most loaded in terms of special features. Here is a little insert that talks a little bit about the making of the movie, which I think is a pretty cool little feature to have. And here is the back of the insert, which is another navigational overview chart. Okay, I know that this isn't a Disney animated canon movie, but it is a semi-sequel to the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, so I figured I should put it in the Disney animated canon pile of Disney material I own on DVD. The Tigger Movie. Definitely happy to have this film in my collection. This was another recent DVD I purchased, and I really like this release of the DVD because the artwork that's on the front cover, minus the fact that it has the Disney DVD logo on the bottom right corner, looks exactly like the artwork for the VHS of the movie I used to have. I might eventually get the 10th anniversary collector's edition DVD of this movie that came out in 2010, though, because that DVD has 2 bonus episodes of the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh included on it. So it would definitely be worth picking up just to have those 2 episodes of the show. Front, spine, and the back. And here is the disc. This was a copy I purchased at a garage sale, so there's this little sticker here from whoever owned this last. And another chapter selection index insert. It's pretty similar to the one that's on the Robin Hood DVD I showed you earlier, because there's this little blurb on the back about the special features included here. Okay. Emperor's New Groove and the Tigger Movie both came out in 2000, so now we're getting into the more recent Disney films I have. Atlantis: The Lost Empire is the one that starts the more recent Disney films I currently own. A more underrated Disney film, in my opinion, though I think it's about to get a boatload of new fans. Pun seems to be intended, because it's apparently going to get a live-action remake. Only for Disney Plus, not a theatrical live-action remake. But I still think that's pretty major, since this isn't a movie I think was popular enough to have a live-action remake. Even if this particular remake was judged by Disney as not being profitable enough to hit theaters. Though it doesn't matter anyway because of the whole social distancing COVID thing. But anyways, this movie has a much better 2-disc collector's edition DVD. This particular copy I own is the single-disc version, and I'm definitely planning on getting that 2-disc collector's edition DVD sometime in the future. Front, spine, and the back. There's a little sticker covering up part of the back cover because I purchased this used at Goodwill. And here is the inside. Similar disc holder to the one used for the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh DVD. And here is the insert. The front of it basically copies the artwork that's on the front cover. And the inside is a little description of the special features that are included on here. And the back of the insert is a chapter selection index. Alright, now we have Lilo and Stitch. Another really good movie. Definitely the best film to come out of Disney in the 2000s, in my opinion. With Emperor's New Groove and Princess and the Frog being the runner-ups. So I guess, yeah, Lilo and Stitch is actually my number 6. Emperor's New Groove is number 7 in my top 10 favorite animated canon movies. Just like with Emperor's New Groove, this is the 2-disc collector's edition DVD of the film, because the Blu-ray release of this film that came out is unfortunately bare bones, just like the Blu-ray for Emperor's New Groove. So I'm definitely happy to have this collector's edition release of the film in my collection. Front, spine. There's this little price sticker here because I purchased this used at a store in Oregon called Epic Seconds that sells all different kinds of DVDs and Blu-rays as well as music albums. And here's the back. And here's what we got inside. Here is disc 1, which has the movie, and disc 2, which has some of the special features. And I say some because this is another very loaded